Why not you? This simple question holds the power to awaken something profound within you. Most often we sit on the sidelines of our own life, watching others live their dreams while we remain prisoners of our doubts and fears. Why not you? Because the moment you ask this, you challenge the very foundations of your limitations. You see, fear and uncertainty are not unique to you. Every being that has ever succeeded has faced the same shadows. What separates those who succeed from those who don't is the courage to walk, despite fear. You are not less capable, not less worthy, you are simply holding yourself back by believing the stories you tell yourself. Understand this, your life is not a rehearsal. This is the only stage you have. No one else can fulfill your role. No one else carries your exact dreams, your unique vision, your potential to create. If not you, then who? The world is waiting for what only you can give. Your unique spark is needed, your contribution is essential. You must realize the greatest prison you live in is the cage of your own limiting beliefs. If you choose to break that cage, the sky is no longer the limit. It is just the beginning. Why not you? Because you already have everything within you to rise, to create, to transform. You only need to share that out, silence the noise of comparison and take that first step. So, ask yourself again and again, why not me? Until this question becomes your mantra. Your driving force. When you do that, you will see the impossible will start to bow before your will. Self-doubt is one of the most silent yet powerful forces that stands between you and the life you wish to live. It creeps in quietly, often unnoticed, whispering that you are not enough, that you cannot achieve what you desire. This voice is not a truth but a shadow created by your mind, shaped by past failures, fears and the judgments of others. Yet, it has the power to hold you captive in a cycle of hesitation and inaction. When self-doubt takes root, it clouds your vision of what is possible. It makes mountains out of molehills, turning small challenges into insurmountable obstacles. Instead of seeing opportunities to grow, learn and evolve, you start seeing risks that paralyze your will to move forward. This illusion of incapacity becomes your prison, where you convince yourself that it is safer to stay where you are than to step into the unknown. But the truth is, every person who has ever made a meaningful change in their life or the world has faced self-doubt. It is part of the human experience, not a sign of weakness. The difference lies in how they engage with this doubt. Some allow it to define their limits, while others recognize it as a visitor, an uncomfortable feeling that must be acknowledged but not obeyed. This recognition is the beginning of freedom. Self-doubt is also a reflection of fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. It whispers, if you try and fail, it will confirm you are not good enough. But failing is not the end. It is a teacher that offers lessons if only you are willing to listen. Without embracing failure as part of the journey, self-doubt will continue to build walls around your potential, stopping you from stepping into your true power. One of the most dangerous things about self-doubt is that it convinces you to compare your journey with others. You start believing that their success diminishes your worth or their path is easier than yours. But comparison is a thief of joy and confidence. Everyone's path is unique with its own struggles and strengths. When you focus on your own growth rather than measuring against others, self-doubt loses its grip. To break free from self-doubt, you must cultivate a deep inner trust. This trust is not about being perfect or knowing everything. It is about believing in your ability to face whatever comes, to learn, to adapt and to keep moving forward. It is about understanding that your worth is not tied to achievements or approval, but is inherent in simply being alive and striving building. This trust requires patience and practice. It means listening to the doubt without letting it control your action. It means stepping forward even when fear and uncertainty are present. Every small step you take against doubt strengthens your confidence and weakens the hold it has on your mind. This process is not instantaneous, but over time, it transforms the landscape of your inner world. Self-doubt will always try to visit, but you do not have to give it a permanent home. It can be a passing cloud in your sky rather than a storm that ruins your day. When you learn to recognize and release it, you open the door to your true potential. It is not about eliminating doubt entirely, but about choosing courage and action in its presence, allowing yourself to live fully and freely. Everyone, without exception, carries fear within. It is part of the human experience, woven into the very fabric of life. Fear is not a flaw or a weakness. It is a natural response designed to protect us from harm. Yet this same fear that is meant to guard us can also become the greatest obstacle to our growth if we allow it to control our choices or define our limitations too. are universal. No one stands at birth or at any point in life completely without boundaries. Our bodies have physical limits, our minds have capacities that need to be stretched, and our circumstances often impose conditions we cannot change immediately. These limitations shape the reality we live in but do not have to dictate the future we create for ourselves. What separates those who rise from those who remain stuck is not the absence of fear or lack of limitations, but the willingness to move forward despite them. To act is not the same as being fearless. True courage is not the absence of fear. It is recognizing fear and choosing to face it. When you embrace your fear, it loses its power to paralyze you similarly. Limitations do not have to be walls that trap you. They can be stepping stones that teach you where to focus your energy, where to innovate, and how to grow. Understanding your current limits helps you map out the journey ahead, showing you what skills to build, what habits to change, and where to ask for help. Limitations are teachers, not prisons. Often we look at others and assume they live without fear or constraints. But this is an illusion created by distance and perspective. Everyone you admire has faced doubts and difficulties. They have stumbled, felt inadequate, and questioned their path. The difference is that they decided not to let these feelings define their story or stop their progress. Accepting your fears and limitations as part of your reality is the first step to transcending them. When you stop fighting or denying what is, you can start working with it. This does not mean surrendering or giving up, but seeing clearly where you are so that you can make informed choices. Clarity comes from honest acceptance, not from wishful thinking. In this acceptance lies freedom. You have to move without the heavy chains of unrealistic expectations or harsh self-judgment, freedom to experiment, fail and learn without fear of being less than. When you stop comparing your limitations with someone else's achievements, you open space for genuine growth rooted in your own truth. And pace, everyone has fear and limitations, but everyone also has the capacity to rise above them. The journey is not about erasing fear or removing limits. It is about expanding your inner strength to hold them without being controlled. It is about becoming so alive and aware that fear becomes a guide rather than a barrier, and limitations become invitations rather than restrictions. A unique journey matters, because no one else carries your exact story, your experiences or your perspective. So, life is not a race to imitate others, but a path to discover who you truly are beneath all the noise and expectations. Every step you take shapes a narrative that is yours alone, and this narrative holds a value that cannot be replicated or replaced. When you try to copy someone else's path, you lose the essence of what makes your journey meaningful. What works for another may not fit your temperament, your circumstances, or your purpose. Your challenges, victories, and lessons are tailored to your soul's growth, and only by embracing them can you unlock your fullest potential and deepest fulfillment. The uniqueness of your journey means that your contributions to the world will also be unique. There are ideas only you can bring, creations only you can birth, and love only you can give. When you honor your path, you honor the parts of yourself that the world desperately needs. Here is an scarcity in thought, experience and expression to evolve. Many people fall into the trap of believing their journey is insignificant because it doesn't look like someone else's success story. But the size or visibility of your path does not measure its importance. Small sincere steps taken in alignment with your truth ripple far beyond what you can see or imagine. Affecting lives in ways you may never fully understand. Your journey matters because it carries the imprint of your growth, your struggles, and your transformation. Every moment you choose authenticity over conformity, courage over comfort, you contribute to a collective evolution. Your story inspires others not because it is perfect, but because it is real, raw and unapologetically yours. It is easy to get distracted by comparisons or feel discouraged by the apparent speed or magnitude of others' progress. Yet your journey is on its own timeline, moving at the perfect pace for your unfolding. Trusting this process requires patience and self-compassion. Allowing yourself to learn and expand without judgment or hurry. When you honor your unique journey, you step into a deeper connection with yourself and with life. You begin to see obstacles not as failures but as markers guiding you toward deeper understanding. You begin to recognize that every twist and turn, every detour is part of a sacred design meant to shape you into who you are meant to become. Your unique journey matters because it is the path through which your true self can emerge and shine. To deny it is to deny the world the gifts you hold within. When you embrace your path fully, you align with the flow of life itself, allowing your purpose to unfold naturally, effortlessly and powerfully. The world waits for your contribution. Because every individual carries a unique spark that can light up the darkness in ways no one else can. No matter how small or insignificant your efforts may seem to you, they create ripples that reach far beyond your immediate sight. Your ideas, your actions, your presence are all part of a vast interconnected web that depends on each thread to hold its strength. Often, people hesitate to share what they have to offer because they doubt its value or fear rejection. But the truth is, the world does not need perfect, it needs real love. Your authentic contribution, born out of your experiences, your insights and your passions, adds a color and texture to the world's canvas that nothing else can replace. Waiting for the right time or the perfect moment only delays the impact you are meant to have when you hold back, believing someone else will fill the space. You underestimate your unique role. There is no one else like you with your combination of gifts, your voice, your vision. The world's challenges are vast and complex, and it is the collective contributions of many unique individuals that move humanity forward. Your participation, no matter how modest it may appear, is vital to this collective evolution. The fear of inadequacy often silences people from stepping forward. But it is precisely your courage to contribute despite these fears that inspires others to do the same. Contribution is not about grand gestures or fame. It is about showing up fully in your own sphere of influence, no matter how small it seems. Every act of kindness, creativity or leadership sets in motion a chain reaction that the world desperately needs. You must understand that your contribution is not just about what you give outwardly, but also about who you become in the process. When you engage fully with your purpose, you evolve, you grow, and you become a beacon for others. Your transformation encourages others to awaken their own potential, creating a multiplying effect that amplifies the impact beyond what you could ever achieve alone. Waiting for external validation or permission to contribute is an illusion. The world is not waiting for you to be perfect, but for you to be willing. Willingness to share your voice, your talents, and your heart is the doorway through which your contribution flows. It is in this willingness that true power lies, because it moves beyond fear and doubt into action and presence. The world's greatest changes have often begun with a single individual stepping forward when no one else would. History shows us countless examples where one person's contribution altered the course of humanity. You do not need to look far for proof that your small, authentic contribution can be a seed from which great things grow. Potential you hold is waiting to be unleashed. The world waits for your contribution because without it, the picture remains incomplete. Your light is necessary, your voice needed, and your actions essential. When you embrace this truth, you no longer hesitate or question your worth. Instead, you step forward with the understanding that your participation in this moment, right now, is a vital part of the unfolding story of life. You are more capable than you think, because your mind often underestimates the vastness of your own potential. From the moment you are born, you carry within you a reservoir of strength, intelligence and resilience that has no fixed limit. It's easy to overlook this inner power because it requires looking beyond the immediate fears and doubts that cloud your vision. Your perceived limitations are often created by the stories you tell yourself, stories shaped by past experiences, societal expectations or comparisons with others. These stories confine you to a small box of what you believe you can achieve, but they are not facts. When you challenge these narratives and step outside of your comfort zone, you discover that your capabilities far exceed what you imagined. Throughout history, countless individuals have achieved extraordinary feats not because they were born exceptional, but because they trusted their capacity to learn, adapt and grow. Capability is not a fixed trait reserved for a few. It is a dynamic quality that expands with every effort you make, every challenge you face, and every failure you learn from. Your potential grows in direct proportion to your willingness to try. Your body and mind have survived and adapted through countless situations, often more difficult than you realize. Every time you have overcome a challenge, you have proven your capacity to endure and thrive. Remembering these moments helps build the confidence to face new trials. You are built to handle more than you give yourself credit for. Even when it feels overwhelming, one of the reasons people doubt their capability is because they focus too much on the outcome rather than the process. Success is not about perfection or instant mastery, it is about persistence and resilience. When you focus on doing your best in the present moment, rather than worrying about the end result, you allow your true ability to unfold naturally. One must also understand that being capable does not mean you have to do everything alone or be the best at everything. Capability includes knowing when to ask for help, when to pause, and when to seek new knowledge. Strength lies not only in individual effort but also in connection and collaboration, which expand your ability beyond what you can achieve by yourself. Every new challenge you face is an opportunity to rediscover your capability. The discomfort you feel when stepping into the unknown is a sign that you are pushing beyond old boundaries, making room for growth. The more you embrace these opportunities, the more you will see how much you are capable of handling, creating a cycle of expanding confidence. You are more capable than you think because your potential is not limited by your past or your fear. It is limitless and waiting to be realized when you decide to stop doubting and start acting. The journey of life itself is a constant unveiling of what you can do, who you can become, and how deeply you can transform when you trust yourself and take the first step. You are more capable than you think. Because within you lies a wellspring of strength and potential that you have barely begun to explore. Your mind focuses on limitations rather than possibilities, telling you stories of what you cannot do or should not attempt. But those stories are not the truth. They are shadows cast by fear and habit that obscure the vastness of your true ability throughout your life. You have faced moments of challenge and adversity that seemed overwhelming at the time, yet you managed to rise through them, often without realizing the depth of your resilience. Each time you have overcome a difficulty, you have expanded your capacity to handle more. These experiences are proof that you possess an inner resourcefulness far greater than you give yourself credit for. Capability is not about perfection or never failing. It is about persistence and learning. You may stumble and fall, but the act of continuing despite setbacks is what builds real strength. The process of growth is not linear, and every step forward, no matter how small, is a testament to your increasing capability to meet life's demands with courage and wisdom. Your fears and doubts often tell you that you are alone in your struggle with this. Every person who has ever accomplished something meaningful has faced uncertainty and self-questioning. The difference lies in choosing to move forward anyway, trusting that you can learn and adapt as you go. This trust in yourself is the foundation upon which your true capability is built. Sometimes you may look at others and think they are naturally more gifted or talented. But what you see is often the result of years of practice, failure and perseverance. Their capabilities grew because they kept stepping beyond their comfort zones and refusing to be limited by their initial doubts. You have that same potential within you, waiting to be awakened by your commitment and action. Remember, being capable does not mean you must carry every burden alone or have all the answers from the start. It means being willing to ask for help, to learn from others, and to grow through collaboration. Your capability expands when you open yourself to new experiences and connections that challenge and support you along the way. Every new challenge is an opportunity for you to discover how capable you really are. The discomfort you feel when facing the unknown is a sign that you are stretching beyond old boundaries, allowing yourself to grow. Embracing this discomfort rather than avoiding it is how you build strength and deepen your confidence. With every step you take, you are more capable than you think because your potential is not defined by your past failures or fears. It is limitless, waiting for you to trust yourself and move forward. When you choose to believe in your ability to handle life's challenges and keep learning, you open the door to possibilities that can transform your life in ways you have never imagined.